If you filed a patent application or you're about to, and you're thinking, how do I actually get this in front of the right people at companies like Google or Microsoft? This is where most inventors are going to get stuck because the default approach, sending a cold email or general pitch, almost never works. In my last video, I talked about why big tech doesn't typically buy early stage patents or raw ideas. So the natural next question then is, what do you actually need to do instead? Well, in this video, I'm going to walk you through a practical framework you can use to get your invention in front of the right people without wasting time on approaches that don't go anywhere. Now, just briefly for context, I've been practicing patent law for over 25 years, working with startups, individual inventors, and institutions, including my time as in-house patent counsel at the Department of Energy's National Renewable Energy Laboratory, working on licensing technologies to the private sector. So what I'm sharing here is based on how these processes actually work, not how people assume they work. All right, let's get started. Step one, identify who you're actually trying to reach. The first mistake most inventors make is targeting the wrong audience. They reach out to legal departments, general business contacts, or generic info at emails. That's almost never effective. Instead, you want to identify engineering leaders, product managers, or technical teams. These are the people who understand the problem that your invention is solving. Step two, get specific about where your invention fits. You need to go beyond this is an AI invention. You should be able to say something like, my invention applies to model deployment or data processing pipelines or system optimization, and explain it. Why this matters is simple. People inside companies think in terms of systems and responsibilities, not abstract ideas like AI. All right, step three, find the right entry points. Once you know who you're going to target, the next question is, how do you actually find them? There's a few practical ways to do this. Professional networks like LinkedIn, you can look people up there. You can attend conferences and technical talks and talk to the speakers. They often know people if they're not someone themselves that might be able to help. Talk to authors of published papers or even blog posts in the area. Contribute to open source projects in your space and talk to other contributors in that area. Now, these give you real names of real people and real roles, not just generic inboxes. Step four, don't lead with, I have a patent, or I just filed a patent application. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see. Opening with, I have a patent you might be interested in, is almost guaranteed to get ignored. Instead, lead with the problem, the relevance of your invention to their system, and why your invention matters to them. The patent application or issued patent is going to support the conversation, but it's not your opening line. If they are interested, they will almost certainly ask if you filed a patent application. And that's going to be the right time to acknowledge that, yes, you have. All right, step five, keep outreach short and technical. When you do outreach, your message should be concise, it should be specific, and it needs to be technically grounded. It shouldn't be a pitch deck, and it should not be a long explanation. Your reach out should be something closer to, we've been working on an approach related to whatever specific system or problem you're working on. It may be relevant to and talk about the area that they work in. And then just happy to share more if useful. Now, that kind of message is far more likely to get a response. Okay, step six, think in terms of conversations, not business transactions. You're not trying to sell a patent in one step. You're trying to start a conversation with the right person. From there, things can develop into a collaboration, maybe, even licensing discussions or preliminary discussions, or even better, an internal evaluation where they can see the actual product and see how it would fit in and how useful it would be to them. But it starts with relevance, not asking for a transaction. Show your invention's relevance to that company. Now, even with the right approach, not every outreach will get a response, and that's normal. What matters is that you're targeting the right people, communicating in the right way, and positioning your invention in a way that makes sense to them. That's what's going to dramatically improve your odds. So if you file or you're planning to file a patent application and you're thinking about next steps, this is where you should be focusing your effort. Not broad outreach, but targeted, relevant communication. If you'd like, I can go deeper in a future video on how to structure these messages, or even walk through some examples with you. And if this was helpful, consider subscribing. I'll be continuing this series and others on how to move from filing a patent application to real-world outcomes that actually monetize it.